Alright everyone, welcome back to the CGB, this is not CGB anymore, what am I saying? I'm way too used to saying that now, but welcome back to Cubecar Season 2. This is race number 3 of 20 here at the Richmond International Raceway, a 3/4 mile short track that's sure to provide a lot of action here in today's event. And while we're here, let's take a look, actually not at our starting lineup. I had an epiphany today while playing Mario Party 4, and I decided that instead of doing the starting lineup for every race, we instead put a spotlight on 4 ones to watch for the race today. And our 4 ones to watch will start off with the 45 of Raccoon, coming hot off of his win last week, or last race really, at Auto Club. Raccoon was the last winner of this race at this track last season, and being the defending series champion, the defending race winner, and the defending winner of this race, it's looking pretty good for Raccoon to go back-to-back here today, but he's got a lot of competition, including the 21 of Mr. Kill, who has been on a consistency hot streak for once. Also, hi, Keon. Welcome to the stream. But anyways, the 21 has been on a very consistent streak of performance recently. Fell off a little bit at the end of Auto Club last week, but don't count the 21 out of competition today. Another cube we could have to talk about today before the race is the 85 of Bowser. Last season, the 11 of Blood Clot led a good amount of races, but that cube is now gone. However, the owner has transferred its stats over to the new cube of Bowser, so expect that one to be fast today. And our last one to watch for the race today is the 30 of Sheepmobile. Led every single lap at a track that is similar to this, Nazareth, that is no longer on the schedule. But watch out for that 30 to be a fast contender later today. And as we go back to the 66... Not the 66, I mean the 96. That is our pole sitter for today, Road Toad. And by winning the pole today, even if he does not win a race, he will be in contention for the All-Star race.
Drivers, start your engines!
I am pressing the wrong button. I'll just do this. It is way faster than scrolling through the entire field. Got Road Toad and Whimsicott on the front row for today's race, then Tram, and then Igus, then Mr. Kill and Gogomobile. Only one cube fell to the back, and that was the 26 of U-Haul for losing an engine in qualifying. And the race at Richmond is green. Good start by Road Toad. Tram, though, on the bottom lane, getting a very good run without anyone in front of him to slow him down, but Whimsicott gets a great run on the straightaway, and he goes to second, right in front of Tram. Igus and Mr. Kill side by side for 5th in the back of the pack, and everyone else behind them is 2 by 2 all the way to the back. Yeah, hopefully Haruhi can have a bit of a comeback today. Fastest lap of the race so far is the 17 of Toasto, but that probably won't last very long, as it was only the first lap out of 200 we are running here today at Richmond. Road Toad continues to lead. And now a bit of a 4-car breakaway from the rest of our leaders as the pack starts to thin out a little bit already. Haruhi and Gogomobile on the inside lane trying to make some moves over here. The Grimnir Nation at 66, as well as the 16 of Galaga. Another race winner from last year, except he only won one race last year, and that was at Daytona. Didn't really get that far in terms of position or points, so that was pretty much the peak of his season last year. But so far, Road Toad staying ahead of the field, but that 89 is closing in on our leader. Let's see if Whimsicott can get past Road Toad. A great run in turn 4 for that 89 is now he is in the draft of that 96. Let's see if he can get past him here. And also 19 of Igus catching up to the 42 of Tram. Further back in the field, 70-sider and Mr. Kill have started to break away, as well as the 13 of Gogomobile. Then the 66 of Grimnir Nation, the 55 of Haruhi, and the 45 of Raccoon. Gentle Cat gets thrown up the inside lane, or the outside lane actually. There's L'Equipe de Baguettes, and there's Omori Jr. A lot of field fillers up front. Not really up front, but up in top 20. There's Klonoa, Heihachi, and Goob all on the bottom lane, trying to make some moves early on in this event. You can see a little bit, just a little bit of reflection texture. It's really hard to see, but if you look for a split second on the tops and on the sides of the cubes, you'll see some reflection textures from this expertly crafted, modded track, an updated version of Richmond. A little bit of history about this track, actually, is actually a track that I'm going to this year. I will be attending the spring race at this track later in March. Actually, at the tail end of March, so that's going to be fun. It'll be the first time I ever visit this track. But it is a 3/4 mile short track built around, I think it was 1975. Used to have some grandstands all the way around the track, but of course due to slightly dwindling attendance in recent years, they've had to tear down some of those stands, but thankfully a bunch of the original stands still remain to this day. Nothing too crazy about this track, honestly, in terms of history, but it is a pretty neat little track with a start-finish line that isn't exactly centered, kind of like a couple other tracks we'll be going to, like Talladega and Rockingham. Those two are actually back-to-back, or in the same little group of 4 tracks later on this season. But now Igus has passed Tram for 3rd place and is now hunting down the 89 of Whimsicott for 2nd. I tweaked the 19 stats this year to be a little bit more reminiscent of my sim racing statistics, which means she is now best at short tracks and worst at intermediates, so that's probably why she didn't do so hot towards the end of Auto Club at the end of that race, or probably why she crashed out as well. Tailing the field right now are Packmobile, Lightning McQueen, and Hedgerton. Unfortunate for the 06, who was running so well at the end of Auto Club last weekend, just couldn't get the win secured. Same for Daisy and Curb, who were also struggling early on in this race. U-Haul on that 26, that new engine that they put in there is making some work as he has moved from last all the way up to 34th. So he's probably our biggest mover of the race so far, but it looks like Crush Cube, Daisy, and Spark It Up all running the inside lane, trying to make some positions in the back of this pack. I guess takes a look to the inside of Whimsicott, isn't going to make much room. She's going to dive down to the bottom, going to push him up top. And it looks like she's going to take a dive to the bottom lane. It's going to be very close here, but it looks like Whimsicott has a bit of an advantage. Nope, never mind. The 19 got a great run out there, but this is good for Road Toad as he can continue to lead while he gets away. But that 19 got by Whimsicott very easily in turn 3, so Tram in the 42 has a much better chance now to actually get past this 89. Mr. Kill still holding on in 5th. Now Gogomobile and Galaga now running 7th. A good run for that 16. Haruhi and 70-sider got very close there for a second. That's 55 does not want any more drama after almost causing a caution last week at Auto Club, but thankfully no yellow was caused, but that definitely ruined her chances of having a good finish after a collision with there's the 60 right there, so. And that was the cube she collided with last week. Maybe she might enact some revenge, or I've seen cubes take revenge before in this series, so that's what ended up getting Daisy suspended last year, so who knows if that'll actually happen tonight. But Haruhi and Baguette definitely not friendly after what happened last race. Raccoon has fallen back a little bit since the start of this race. He's now taking on the 70 of 70-siders. Let me get my ticker up real quick, actually. Fastest lap is the 19 of Igus at 21.998 for our new short track menace as Road Toad continues to lead here. As the rest of the field starts to find their footing, Klonoa in the 79 making a move past the 70 of 70-sider. I believe that puts him up to 11th. Yes, it does. And now Gentle Cat as well, starting to regain his balance, moves to the inside. He also gets past the field filler. And he's going to have help from Grimnir Nation and Bowser and Goob. And then Heihachi and Sheepmobile running together in 17th and 18th. Hubris and Meloetta, 2 rivals running together in 19th and 20th. Mori Jr. all by himself. There's Suncube and Toasto. There's Shadow. And then the rest of the field just passing by. Looks like Sisyphus has fallen back quite a bit. Packmobile's actually gained a few spots. Now shuffled out to the back is the 23 of Dragonite. Then U-Haul, then Pocket, then Hedgerton. So a lot of shuffling around going out the back of the pack, but it has been all Road Toad so far in this race, who has led every single lap so far. As we already are almost done with a 10th of this race. And a 10th is a lot at a track like this. Still, it could be worse. You could have run 115 of these laps like I did for my online race I did not too long ago. And I finished 5th out of, like, what, 19 people? Which is pretty good, even though I wrecked a couple people to get there, but hey, Rubbin's racing. These four have made quite a bit of breakaway over the rest of the pack. Go-Go-Mobile and Galaga still racing each other in each other's draft. Haruhi and Raccoon have caught up to Mr. Kill and is now trying to put him lower in position. Baguette hanging back in 10th, Klonoa still in 11th. Looks like Goob is catching up to Grimnir Nation here as Bowser takes the inside lane. He's going to try and get past Goob here, and he will. And here comes Heihachi in the 34, looking to make some ground as well. Shiba Mill and Hubris also doing pretty decent together, as Hubris has passed Meloetta, and here comes Omori Jr. as well. Gun now trying to take out Sad Knuckles. Shadow has left his gun behind as a minion and is now trying to take out Knuckles. What a storyline. Spark It Up and Daisy trying to work together to get through the field, and this line has thinned out a little bit. But the one interesting characteristic about these short tracks is that the leaders, see, Dragonite now is exiting turn 4, Road Toad is now entering turn 3, and that we'll actually might have some cubes go a lap down before we get to our first round of pit stops, so expect a few of them to go a lap down on this first cycle, and expect some more to go a lap down once they go back onto pit road relatively soon. But Road Toad continuing to pull away, but Igus is catching up to him just a little bit. Whimsicott and now hanging on to 3rd still. Tram hanging by in 4th. These two still scrapping at it for 5th. Mr. Kill still holding off these 3 now for 7th. And Gentle Cat and Grimnir Nation have gotten past the 79 of Klonoa here. Forces him up the track, and he's going to fall back a couple of spots to 13th. Bowser and Heihachi. Ooh, Klonoa actually still stuck on the top lane. Excuse me. Oh, it looks like Gentle Cat's making a move on the 21 of Mr. Kill as the 21 has fallen back quite a bit. Fallen from 10th to 11th on that lap. What a poor showing from that 21. He has fallen back significantly. And now, Grimnir Nation's going to take a look on the inside as well. Goob and Sheepmobile also. None of them really making any advances whatsoever. Shadow also trying to make a run on the 17 of Toasto for 25th, although he's not going to have much of a chance to do it now. Now Sad Knuckles actually just recently got passed by Amogus in the 51, even though Amogus ran a slower lap, so interesting scenario. Oh man, I'm tired. Hedgerton now trying to pass Crush Cube for the 36th position, so mainly the guys in the back of the pack are really going around for position here. It looks like the last cube is still Dragonite as Road Toad continuing to catch up to the rest of the pack, now 16 seconds back. Almost a full second ahead of the 19 of Igus now, who is not too far ahead of Whimsicott as that 89 is now catching up to the 19 very quickly. Field is starting to spread out a little bit, and now they're just trying to find out how far they can go before either someone blows an engine, someone spins into the wall, or until we get a green flag pit stops. A little bit of a gaggle right here as Mr. Kill continuing to lose some positions. He's fallen all the way back to 18th, I believe now 19th. Yeah, he's going to drop back to the top 20. As now Goob and 70-Sider both get past him here. And then Meloetta as well. He's continuing to stay stuck in the top lane. He's losing a lot of positions right now in that 21. 21. But now Space Cube, the One Piece. The rest of this group really not making any bold moves. Actually, Pac-Mobile making a move on Sad Knuckles, who almost made contact with him coming out of turn number 2. And it looks like Crush Cube has fallen further back with Sisyphus and Dragonite. Now he's going to have to hold both of them off for the last place position. So Road Toad continuing to lead. Igus has fallen back a little bit. Actually, she's gained to about... No, she lost more momentum there, but 3/10 gain to our leader, or 3/10 loss to our leader right there, or around that time. But now Whimsicott runs 3rd as they all start to spread out a little bit, but these two still trying to find out where they're going as Gentle Cat now looking to pass Raccoon for position. does. He goes to 9th, or to 8th actually. And Grimnir Nation now rounds up the top 10 as Mr. Kill is continuing to fall back. Baguette and Klonoa going at it. Now Sheepmobile trying to make a move on Bowser in the 85. Ooh, and a big group right here trying to make some moves. 70-sider holding off both Meloetta and Goob. Goob now falls back to 20th. As now Mr. Kill continues to fall further back in the pack. Something is definitely wrong with that 21 as he is just not having the momentum he usually has today. Did really good in qualifying and has just been abysmal since the start of this race. Looks like back in the pack, looks like Spark It Up and Sad Knuckles and Gun are all going at it. As I think the 89 is now losing some spots. Followed by Traffic Cone and Packmobile. Just trying to get some spots here. Pog has passed Curb for 38th, and now Crush Cube ahead of this small pack as Cold Steel, the 74, continues to fall. And now you can see Road Toad way in the background, catching up to these lap cars. That's going to slow down his effort to extend his lead once he gets there. You can see him in his tracks now. He's just desperately waiting for a caution as now Whimsicott in the 89 looking for a chance to try and pass the 19. Oh, he washes up the track a little bit though. That's going to make him lose some momentum as the 19 is going to stay ahead of the 89 of Whimsicott here. Gonna get that draft right behind the 89 as the 89 takes a dive to the bottom lane. And is going to try and take second place back from Igus, and looks like he will, but he's not clear. Side by side on the back straightaway. I believe the 89 still has the advantage, but just barely ahead of Igus, and he looks like Whimsicott will clear Igus for the lead here, and he will officially take second away from the 19. And Tram gained a little bit that time as well, trying to catch up to our leaders. But Road Toad continuing to dominate early here at Richmond. And now Galaga has moved to 5th, Gentle Cat to 6th. Golgomobile has fallen back to 7th, and now Raccoon is in 8th, 9th is Grimnir Nation, and 10th is Haruhi. Klonoa and Heihachi not too far behind either. Ooh, and Sheepmobile gets a great run on Baguette there, who seems to be stuck on the top lane, can't really do anything up there. And he is going to pass that 60 for position. Now he drops back to 17th. Oh, poor Mr. Kill just keeps continuing to get stuck on the top lane, now trying to get past. Actually did get down to the bottom ahead of, problems for the 17 of Toasto. Engine failure for the 17. He goes onto the grass. Surprisingly not programmed to have dirt, but that could be bad if he decides to stop on the apron like what happened last season when someone had an engine failure. He did hit the wall, so I believe he's going to have to come around as the leaders have to slow up when he's on the apron. So problems for the 17, and that damage does look terminal because he is smoking. But he is going to make it to pit road, so no problems there. Unless someone crashes into him, but no, that's not going to happen. So problems for the 17 of Toasto. He's going to head to pit road, and looks like he's going to be done for the day. Oh no, he's changing tires. He might actually be good. That thing was smoking and he's still going. I've never seen that happen before, genuinely. I've run like maybe 200 races in this thing. Maybe more, maybe like way more than that, and I've never seen a smoking car or cube come down pit road and just start fixing the issue. But now, as we go on board with the 96 of Road Toad, you can see right in front of him, those are the lap cars that he eventually needs to pass to put a lap down. And behind him are the 19 and the 89, waiting for him to get slowed down by these lap cars and potentially take the lead away from him here. So Road Toad really needs to get past these guys as quick as possible, because then passing these guys will make it easier for him to get away with a lead and harder for the guys behind him to get up to him and take the lead away. But now Gentle Cat is in 5th, Galaga 6th, Gogomobile back to 7th, and Raccoon 8th, Grimnir Nation 9th, and Haruhi rounds out the top 10. And did the 17 retire from that damage? Yep. Turns out that did not actually fix that damage, as they have retired from the race with a camshaft problem. As Bowser making a move on Heihachi here in turn 3, and so is Hubris making a move on both Heihachi and Omori Jr. We move this. And it looks like Hubris is going to get ahead of Omori Jr., but not ahead of Heihachi, because he got down to the bottom lane quicker than Hubris could pass him. These two are still side by side going into turn 3. We'll pay attention to that later. That's probably going to be Hubris that takes that spot, though. But Cold Steel and Rotoad, yeah, you can see right there, Rotoad is very quickly closing up to that 74 of Cold Steel, trying to put him a lap down. Currently running last out of the currently running cubes. We're almost a quarter of the way through this race already as we get to lap 50. Actually, we are a quarter of this race. We are done with a quarter of this race already, which is nice. Whimsicott and Igus now trying to scrap for their second place spot again, but it looks like Whimsicott got away a little bit there. Let's go further back, see if anything else is happening back here. Looks like Bowser got ahead of Heihachi. Looks like Hubris did get ahead of Omori Jr. Shadow and Knuckles going at it into turn 3, but it looks like Sad Knuckles actually is gaining some spots. He got ahead of Shadow that lap, and he's now going to take away 25th. And now Rotoad trying to put Cold Steel a lap down. He's going to almost effortlessly do it. And that's going to make it way harder for Whimsicott and Igus to catch up to him and take away the lead, at least until they get to pit stops. But I have no idea when the pit stops are on this race, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens here. I believe the only caution that happened in this race last season was someone getting stuck on the apron after losing an engine and stopping on track, and that's what caused the caution to come out. Yeah, this track usually is not very aggressive in terms of AI, which is a good thing. It allows for nice close racing once the AI decides to actually do some close racing. But Rotoad's just running away with it today. But now it's got a lot of traffic to pass here as he gets slowed up by the 23 of Dragonite, and that's going to kill his momentum quite a bit. But now Whimsicott and I guess still have to get past Cold Steel to get back to the front. Now Omori Jr. and Sheepmobile trying to pass Klonoa in the 79. That's going to put the O2 up to 12th. And it looks like it's going to put Sheepmobile up to 13th. Bowser falls back, and now Suncube is trying to make a run on the 85. As Klonoa still can't get down to the bottom just yet. Seems like Rotoad has passed Crush Cube and is already trying to get past, or has gone past Dragonite, now is getting past Crush Cube and is now trying to pass Gun to put him a lap down. But Whimsicott has gained a little bit of momentum there. Gained about half a second on our leader there. So Rotoad is getting slowed up by these lap cars, but everyone else behind him that's challenging for the lead still has to pass these two, or 3, or 4, or however many Rotoad's going to pass before the pit stops begin. Look at this conga line right here as Hubris dives to the inside of the 30 of Sheepmobile to try and get past him for 13th. She's going to get it, barely. And here comes Suncube on the 56 as well, trying to make some moves. And now almost 3 wide between Klonoa, Goob, and Meloetta. It looked like Meloetta was trying to make it 3 wide, but unfortunately it's very hard to make that work at this track. So both Goob and Meloetta are going to get away, and Bowser's going to fall to 19th. Unfortunate for that 85. Or Mr. Kill has fallen back to 25th after starting 4th. Just not the way that this race has gone for them so far. like I said, had a great qualifying run, just isn't really showing it in terms of performance today. Same with the 06 of Hedgerton, which I expect to do pretty good. Actually, Hedgerton has gained some spots since the start of this race, but is still not doing that great, so. But now Road Toad trying to pass the 01 of Curb to put him a lap down. Let's see if he can. Sisyphus in the 08, though, trying to mess him up. Oh, looks like with the help of the lap cards, Igus has passed Whimsicott for position as Whimsicott gets pushed up the outside lane by Crush Cube. Gonna mess him up here. As Igus still battling with these lap cars, this is gonna be really problematic for our leaders to try and deal with this. Galaga and Raccoon going at it for 5th, actually for 6th. Galaga falls back, and here comes Gogomobile in 13. Diving down to the inside. Ruhi's still chilling in 9th. Grimir Nation now 10th. Heihachi is now 11th, one spot away from breaking into the top 10 for the first time since Daytona. Mori Jr. chilling in 12th. And Hubris trying to chase down that 0-2 in 13th. These two barely battled at all last year because the performance diff between these two was so great. I guess that's the best way to say it. These two barely had any competition between each other at all last year. Goob looking to make a run on Sheepmobile for 15th. He's not going to dive to the inside. The One Piece and Space Cube going at it. Two field fillers who really have no impact on the championship. And there's another one, 70-sider, who started super good, had some speed, but has fallen back to 21st. Daisy, I believe, has passed Shadow for position, but still not doing too great for that 44. And Road Toad continuing to put more cars lap down. But really, after these pit stops end, I believe Igus and... Oh, actually, no. We have a new second place cube. That is the 70... Or not second place, third place. Is the 71 of Gentlecat. And since Whimsicott got forced up to the outside lane, has lost a lot of momentum, and the next one that's going to pass him is probably going to be the 42 of Tram. But now the 71 can easily battle with the 19 for position here. But it still has the battle between Puck, then Sisyphus, then Curb, then U-Haul now, and then probably Hedgerton to get to our leader before pit stops begin, which should be around lap 70. That's my guess on when they'll happen. Actually, since this track is much bigger, or much smaller actually, than California, I'm guessing around lap 80 or 90 is when the pit stops will happen, but that's just my guess. That seems pretty reasonable, as I forgot when they happened last season. But now Hedgerton is now a lap down. Packmobile is next on the list. I guess dives to the inside, trying to get past Sisyphus, and she does. Same with Gentle Cat, who is about to clear him now, and he does. But these two right here are actually catching up to our leader pretty well. The gap has close to 1.2 seconds behind Road Toad for the lead, and if Road Toad can still just keep on trucking. Agus actually did run a faster lap than Road Toad did there. He's actually running similar times to these lap cars. So this is definitely not going the way that Road Toad wants to have it to get past these lap cubes. Dives down to the inside the lap Packmobile, though, and that's another... Ooh. But now these two are battling too wide. Amugas and Lightning McQueen is going to be a bit of a roadblock for this 96. Let's see if he can actually get past these two. Oh, never mind. Amugas passed McQueen. And now he's stuck on the top lane. Both Igus and Gentlecat both got past Sisyphus and now have to get past Curb, Hedgerton, U-Haul, and Packmobile. And eventually McQueen. So the cycle continues here, but the gap continues to close. Let's see how close it can get before these guys eventually have to come down pit road. Meanwhile, through the rest of the field, Meloetta passing Goob for the 16th spot. Galaga going to dive down to the bottom of Gogomobile, but the 13 is not going to hold him off. And Tram getting forced up the top lane by Dragonite. Not going to do much there. Raccoon is now in 5th, having just another good run. after getting a top 5 at Daytona, a win at Auto Club, and now another top 5 looks like it here at Richmond, or Track War. Like I mentioned earlier, he won at earlier this season, or last season. Cubecar falls to 4th, although that was already the case. And now Gentle Cat passing Igus for the 2nd place position. Currently one of the fastest cubes on track right now, even though he just ran a pretty slow lap overall. But the gap is now under a second between Gentle Cat and our leader, who is now 4 cubes ahead, but is still losing a lot of momentum as U-Haul passing McQueen for position to 32nd, as Mr. Kill now in 30th, just losing more and more spots. This race not going how that 21 anticipated. Another message on the board. It's the 66 of Grimnir Nation, who is running in the top 10 with a tire problem. Hits the wall trying to come down the track, but looks like they're also going to make it to pit road here. But problems for the 66. Just misses the jetting safer barrier, and now he's also going to make it to pit road. So thankfully, I don't think that'll cause a DNF. It still does in some rare occurrences, but I don't think the 66 will be gone after that. But they'll obviously be a bunch of laps down because this is a smaller track. There's your leader, who has just passed the 51. As U-Haul continues to gain spots, he now goes up to 29th on that lap. Just barely, though. It's going to make it much harder. Where is Gentle Cat, actually? Oh, Gentle Cat. Only 2 cubes now behind our leader. And is now only 1 behind our leader, so he's only got 1 cube left to pass before he can challenge Road Toad for the lead. He's got to do it quick, or else he won't have the most laps led bonus at the end of this race, so Shadow's just got to hold him off for a little bit longer. U-Haul slides on the track a little bit, but Gentle Cat is almost there. He just needs to pass U-Haul, and he'll be home free to try and battle Road Toad for the lead. Oh, caution is out! The pace car has pulled off the track. Someone has gone around somewhere, or maybe not, who knows, but I actually don't know what happened. That might have been a phantom yellow. But caution is out for the first time, and I have no idea why, but it looks like our leaders are coming to pit road. Or they're breaking off from the lap cubes. So pit stops work a little differently under caution than they do under green, especially when there's a bunch of cars that are lapped down. Oh, it looks like it must have been... Oh, I guess it's coming down pit road early. Interesting. Oh, all of our leaders are coming down now. Okay, so all the lead lap cars pit first under the caution. So we're just going to switch to the spectator cam here so we can see everyone. All the lead lap cars pit first. And then on the second lap, all the cars that are a lap down pit second. So that makes it easier. But let's see who wins the race off of pit road here. It'll probably be close between Road Toad and Igus. Or actually, no, it was Gentle Cat who was second place. And Road Toad pulls off first. Looks like Igus is going to come out second. Raccoon, no, Whimsicott's going to come out third. Ooh, Raccoon comes out fourth, then Tram in fifth, Golgomobile sixth, Galaga 7th, Heihachi 8th, Haruhi 9th, and Hubris 10th. So a little bit of shuffling positions under this caution, which I still have no idea what happened. We're going to go back to the pace car, actually, and rewind. That's not it. That's my player character. Looks like Grimnir Nation is actually going to get one of their laps back, at least. We're going to rewind and see what happened to cause this caution at the moment that the pace car pulled off the track. I think it might have been a debris yellow, because sometimes when these cubes have their tires go down, they lay down invisible debris that causes the caution. So it might have been that. That's pretty rare, but it was out for a while. Yeah, it was out for a while. I didn't even notice it. It was right here. So this is when the caution came out, and I didn't see any tire marks or anything. So it must have been a debris yellow. Yep. Looks like it's some debris on the track. AKA a Mickey Mouse yellow if you're a hardcore motorsports fan like me. But Road Toad will continue to lead when we go back to green, even though the 66 will still be out in front, just will fall to the inside lane. But you saw this a little bit last race at not Richmond, at Auto Club. But all of the cubes that are a lap down are going to line up on the inside lane for the restart, and all the cubes that are not on the lead lap, aka our leaders, are going to line up on the outside lane. That is a rule that basically lasted until 2009, and in 2009 they changed it to be the double file restarts we still use today. Unfortunately, there's not a mod for this game that changes that. If it did, then we'd have to recode every single track, including the modded ones, to accommodate for that, and that would just be a pain in the ass. So if there was something like that, I probably would not get into trouble to try and configure that. Looks like we're going back to green next time by, and you'll see the 66 pull to the inside lane here. Yep, Road Toad almost followed him there, which is interesting. And everyone else that is behind them is going to try and fall to the inside lane. So a lot of traffic for our leaders, especially since the inside or the outside lane is actually the slower line to go through at a track like this. Let's see if anyone else gains some decent spots off of pit road here. Maury Jr. is now in 11th, Goob is 12th, Klonoa 13th, Gentle Cat falls all the way back to 14th, so they must have had a really bad pit stop. Meloetta 15th, Bowser 16th. Sad Knuckles is actually now 18th. A very good pit stop for them, who was about to get lapped. And then Shadow, I believe, now still tails the field. I think the 31 of, yeah, Space Cube had a problem. He's got an engine problem with that cube, but now we are back to green as Space Cube comes down pit road and has to fix something with the engine. Grimnir Nation gets a great restart, but Road Toad and Igus struggling in that top lane. And there's no gap for Road Toad to get down to the bottom. U-Haul almost made it 3 wide there. And now U-Haul gets to the bottom first. I almost sounded like Soulja Boy. But I'm not going to tell them, because I am not in this O. And I am not cranking that Soulja Boy. But the first of our leaders to go to the inside lane, I believe, is actually... I actually don't even know. Sheepmobile. Yeah, Sheepmobile is the first to get to the inside lane. Now Road Toad does as well, and he's going to fall back a little bit. Actually, he's not really going to fall back. He's going to already gain a ton of spots. But now Igus in the 19 can get to the bottom and successfully chase down our leader, but Road Toad has led every lap so far in this race. Let's see if he can lead every single one and do what only 2 other contenders have done in the series history. Which is a lot more than I expected, honestly. Ooh, close battle between Among Us and U-Haul for the 27th spot, but behind them is our leaders trying to get some spots. Meanwhile, further back, Whimsicott still holding on to 3rd, Raccoon in 4th. 5th is Tram, 6th, I believe, is Go-Go Mobile, then Galaga, then Heihachi, then Haruhi, and then Bowser now in the top 10. Now, I guess there's only one more cube left to pass until she can challenge for the lead. U-Haul putting up quite a bit of a fight, though, as now Road Toad trying to chase down the 66 of Grimnir Nation. Almost at halfway already. This race has pretty much flown by compared to Fontana, where we had 3 cautions, and at a track like that, the cautions take forever, so thankfully it's not as long here, and thankfully we don't have to worry about that. But once we get to Circuit of the Americas, whoo boy, those cautions are going to take forever. But I guess struggling to get past the lapped car of U-Haul. She needs to get in his draft and get past him so she can actually get the clean air and challenge for the lead. Whimsicott still holding on to 3rd. Raccoon, though, getting close to her in 4th. And 5th. Actually, 5th. Bowser has actually gone all the way up to 5th, I believe. Tram has fallen back to 7th. And now Goob is in 6th. And now Shibabille trying to battle as well. He's broken the top 10. I believe Spark It Up is actually in the top 10 as well, as Gentle Cat comes up and Haruhi falls back a little bit. Sad Knuckles also falls back a little bit as well. Shadow, who I forgot was even on the lead lap, is battling with Heihachi and Haruhi. Ooh, a little bit of contact between Shibabille and Tram there exiting turn 2. That could have been disastrous at a track like this. But Igus has that clean air. Oh, never mind. No, she doesn't. Ooh, Space Cube is actually really slow on the track right now. Probably just exited pit road, but they are very, very slow compared to our leaders right now, so. Oh, they're not even running full speed in the corners. That is not good. 23.5, 22.2. So yeah, Space Cube definitely has an engine problem with that 31. I guess finally taking a look to the inside of U-Haul, but it's not going to stick. Meanwhile, Whimsicott and Bowser, actually Bowser's falling off. Now it's just Raccoon in 4th. Bowser way back in 5th. Problems for the 34 of Heihachi. Fuel system problem for the 34. He dives down to the bottom of the track, is actually going to put some dirt down, but thankfully did not collect anyone in that. I think Hubris and Traffic Cone got held up by the 34 having an issue. And it looks like he is also going to make it a pit road, but problems for the 34 at Richmond. A fuel system problem, which might put him on pit road for the rest of the race, which considering what happened to Shadow last week. And he was running in the top 10 before he had his problem, but now he's going to come down pit road, and his chance of being competitive is probably over. Igus has gotten past U-Haul and is now trying to challenge for the lead here at Richmond. Heihachi now on pit road, and he is going to try and fix that damage, so good for him, but unfortunate for someone who I thought was going to be a solid contender towards the end of this race. About 2 more laps until we're halfway done with this event. But Igus is catching up to Road Toad very quickly. She's going to have to pass him quick if she doesn't want him to get the most laps led bonus, but that's going to be very difficult to do late in this race. She's right on his back bumper, though. We could see our first lead change of the day. Or of the night, actually, because it's nighttime here, and it's nighttime at the track, too, which is kind of hard to tell because of the lighting, but I don't want to turn on free cam because I don't want to crash the game. Looks like Heihachi is out of there, and he's back on the track, but obviously a tough break for that 34, as he is now ranked second to last out of everyone that's on track. Cube de Baguette and 70-Sider have now broken the top 10 according to the ticker, and so has Spark It Up. And now Bowser's in the top 5. These two right now are our stars of the show. Running some of our fastest on track. Actually, Grimnir Nation in the 66 is, I believe, 3 laps down. No, only 1 lap down. But he's got the fastest lap of the race. A 21.908, faster than Igus's fastest lap. So I guess if you still are competitive, you can still get those fast laps. But Grimnir Nation doing a very good job holding on to that lap. And if a caution comes out, that 66 will be back on the lead lap. So really hoping for a caution here. These two are going to continue going on for the lead. Meanwhile, let's check on our rest of our leaders as Whimsicott goes back up to 3rd. Raccoon still in 4th. Bowser now 5th. Shibabille chilling in 7th. And the Cube de Baguette and 70-Sider battling for 10th. Tram falls out of the top 10. And now Shadow making up some positions as well. Almost 3 wide between Shadow, Meloetta, and Tram. Very, very close between those two. Klonoa now up to 16th after starting in the back at that restart. Haruhi falls back a little bit, so does Suncube and Sad Knuckles, and Hubris falls back especially as well, but she's at least gained some spots since losing some after dealing with the slow cube of Heihachi. Daisy struggling as well at this track, although she definitely has been struggling at short tracks overall. I guess can't find the momentum to try and pass Road-Toad for the lead. And now, officially, no one can lead any more laps than Road-Toad has done tonight, as he has led over 100 laps. Ooh, I guess drives it deep into the corner, but is not going to make that stick. You saw her get really tight right there in the corner, and she's not going to get any speed from that. Let's see if she ran a faster lap than Road-Toad did. No. Dives it down deep again. Loses a lot of momentum. Again. And that's probably going to how it's going to be for that lead. Bowser, though, actually catching up to Raccoon for that 4th place position. Like I said, he was one of our ones to watch, and he is definitely a one to watch for sure in this race, with another one of our ones to watch, who is the 45 for Raccoon. But neither of these two really not making an effort to get up front. Oh, I don't know why I'm so yawny today. Probably because it's 8:46, but then again, it's not that late for me. The Road-Toad and Igus, actually Road-Toad getting ahead of the 19 here. Igus can't seem to close once again. She'll definitely be a contender later in this race for sure if she can actually get up to our leader and pass him. But now the 66 of Grimnir Nation might actually be a roadblock for Road-Toad's lead. Yeah. I mean, true, Keon. It's more of a night. It's more night for you than it is for me. Let's be real. Actually, it's more morning for you. Although I appreciate the effort for you managing to watch at 2 a.m. in the morning. But I guess losing a bunch of momentum overall. She did run a... No, she did not run a fast lap. But Grimnir Nation running very similar lap times to Road-Toad. And now Space Cube in the 31 might actually be used as a pick so that Igus can get to the lead. She actually gained a lot of momentum back there. And out of turn 4. Let's see if she can actually get up to the 96 here. But, oh... Space Cube slowing down both the 66 and the 96, and Igus is right on the back bumper of the 96 for the lead. But she goes to the top lane, goes right back down to the bottom, is going to try and take the dive bomb. But it doesn't work, but she's still there, gets right on the apron. And she now dives to the bottom lane. Can she take the lead away from Road-Toad? Oh, it's very close, and she gets out of there very quickly as he struggles in that outside lane, as you could tell. We have a new leader for the first time tonight. And I swear this is not rigged. I set that on Charlotte, though, and she ended up winning that race, so who knows. But now, all she has to do is get past Grimnir Nation. She's in clean air until she gets to Heihachi, which is not too far away. I mean, he probably is slower now. But it all depends now on how many lap cars she will have to pass before the end of this race or until pit stops. Actually, now I'm thinking this might actually be a fuel mileage finish, depending on when they pitted. Well, no, maybe not. Uh-oh. No, I do not want to access my phone. I hope that did not show up on the thing, otherwise I might have to edit that out in post. It did. Oh well. It's fine. I was plugging in my phone to my PC so I could get some charge, but oh well. And now Road-Toad trying to catch back up to our leader. Now that 66 continuing to be a roadblock. This actually might shuffle our leaders a little bit more towards the end of this race, but the rest of the field is falling back quite a bit. Raccoon moves to 3rd, Bowser to 4th. Whimsicott has fallen back quite a bit, all the way back to 7th. Now 8th? No, but Spark It Up is an 8th. And now Gogomobile's back into the top 10. Uh-oh, we got an alert. It's the 11 of Puck right in front of our leaders with an engine problem. And he's going to stay in the top lane. That's a very bad spot to have an engine problem as Tram runs into the back of him, puts him in the wall. No caution. But that's going to be an issue for Tram, though. He might have to pit from that damage. But definitely a very bad time to lose your engine. He's going to make it to pit road, but just barely. Actually, he might have gotten a penalty there. But problems for Tram and for Puck. Let's see if Tram actually does come down pit road there. Wherever he is. There he is. So no, he's not coming down pit road, but he's still going to have that damage, but that's going to hurt his aerodynamics quite a bit, and looks like the 11 is going to try and fix it. Rare. You don't usually see someone trying to fix engine damage, but lo and behold, we are seeing that here today. I guess now getting up to a sizable lead ahead of Road Toad. Got a lot of clean air until she gets to the 34 of Heihachi, who's on the fresher tires. So he did actually catch up to Daisy, who's currently last of the lead lap pack in 25th. Not too bad at all for that 44, even though she hates short tracks. Same for the One Piece, and Omori Jr. really has fallen off since the start of the race. Was in the top 10, now falls back to 23rd. And it looks like Pac is off of pit road. Oh, and he's out of the race too, so same thing happened to Tosto. He had a camshaft problem, came down, now he's out of the race. So that's our second DNF of the day for the same problem. Bowser, though. Oh, actually, Sheepmobile's now in 5th. Not a bad run for that 30 cube, although I said that they'd be very fast today. Considering it's a short track, and they excel at the short tracks the most. Now I'm regretting booting Dover off the schedule compared to Richmond, because Dover was probably a bit more of an exciting race, but oh well, that's what you get when you're me and you're a bad scheduler, because 60% of the races in Season 1 were not very good. But that's why I took some of the best from Season 1, but obviously this one was not one of the best. I may have just picked this because of bias, because I'm good at this track in online, but oh well. What you gonna do? Hey, I'm a Mario. What's the matter, you? But Road Toad's dynasty, I should say, has been laid to rest, but looks like another dynasty is starting to form here, as I guess is getting away from our leader, who has a 1.2 second disadvantage to our leader. Then back to Raccoon in 3rd, who has a 8.4 second disadvantage from our leader. And then a Goob, and then all the way back to the last cube of our top 10, which is the 16, who has a 13-second disadvantage to our leader. So that means that not only is Zygas catching up to our new lap cubes very fast, but oh yeah, One Piece is exiting turn 4, and there's the 19. So yeah, these guys are going to start going a lap down very soon. And you saw how long it took the 19 to actually try and pass these lap cubes, so Road Toad might actually take the lead back away from her there. Road Toad's actually doing a good job staying behind her. But now, the One Piece, Sisyphus, Space Cube, and Daisy all trying to work together in some capacity. Actually, Space Cube is significantly off the pace, so he doesn't even matter in this equation. But you can see the leaders very quickly catching up to them. So let's see how these lap cars are going to affect the end of this race with less than 70 laps to go. Still a bit of a ways to go. Still, anyone can have an engine failure or something like that, but we've seen leaders have engine failures before, and one of them that has had that happen before is in this race, so who knows if that'll happen. As we are just about to get to the hour mark of this race. But now easily gets past Space Cube. Road Toad not as fortunate as he's forcing Road Toad to the bottom, but let's see how easy it is for the 19 to actually get past these lap cubes. I believe the biggest battle right now is for the last spots in the top 10 as Whimsicott has fallen all the way back to 10th. Actually, now to 11th as Klonoa is now in the top 10. Baguette has gotten past now. Mr. Kill, actually no, he's a lap down. He doesn't matter. But Hubris now in 13th. 70-Sider now 14th. Blelawetta falling back, and now Haruhi now up to 14th, I believe? 15th. Shadow in 17th. Sad Knuckles 18th. Oh my god, you've got Shadow, Knuckles, and Sonic all together. And Pac doesn't count, he's an imposter. Like a Mugus. Heihachi, though, chilling back in 39th after that problem that he had. Heihachi was, I believe, 9th in points after Auto Club, so this is definitely going to hurt his point standings overall. But a win here for Igus would be huge, because I believe she's second to last in points right now, so she really needs some good luck after these past couple of races have been not too kind after a DNF last week at Auto Club. But going from a DNF to a win certainly should feel rewarding. Raccoon, though, in a league of his own by a little bit, although Goob could still pass him for a podium position here if Goob can actually catch up to the 45, but that 45 has been fast as well. Fastest laps overall, 07 of Hubris, actually second fastest overall. Then Road Toad fourth fastest, Igus third fastest. The 42 of Tram is fifth fastest, then Galaga, then the 89 of Whimsicott, then Lightning McQueen is 8th fastest, then Gentle Cat, then Golgamobile. So maybe if McQueen had some time to shine by not being a lap cube, he could have gained more spots, but I guess not today. But these guys having a bit of a scrap here as they get past Pac-Mobile, who is a lap down in 29th. According to my ticker, the One Piece has gone a lap down, so it looks like Igus is passing them very quickly. But Road Toad still not even a second back. He's actually gained on Igus there. Had a faster lap than she did, but not by very much. She's got a bit of clean air for now, but then she's got to pass Omori Jr., Traffic Cone, Dragonite, and Gentle Cat. Who was trying, by the way, that 71 was at second at one point. He has fallen off a lot since his bad pit stop. And he has just been terrible since that time. I'm gonna take a swig of water real quick. My water bottle's almost empty. No, I must have my water. Road Toad gets past the lap cube of the One Piece. And I get slowly catching up to Dragonite. Oh, we got another alert. It's the 96 of Road Toad with a problem. Our second place contender is slow on the track. A tire is down on the 96. Heartbreak is not even enough to describe it. Running second, led 113 laps, and now with a tire problem is going to force him to go a lap down. Problems for Road Toad. And what could have been a race that he could have won as a rookie is going to fall to him going a lap down and probably potentially falling into the top 30. But what a disaster for Road Toad, our pole sitter. That's even better for Igus, even worse for Raccoon, I fear, who is going to have Igus gain so much more position over him. But if he continues to do what he's doing, he could easily get a second place position, which would easily make his points lead go way up, because he finished 4th, 1st, and 2nd in these, or now 2nd in these first 3 races. So to say he's on a hot streak after winning that championship is an understatement. Road Toad is off of pit road very quickly, but he's still going to be a lap down, which is just unfortunate. Actually, he's going to get out of pit road very quickly, but he is unfortunately going to be a lap down in 29th. 33rd now. And now Iga's just putting more and more cars a lap down as she is 8 seconds ahead of second place now. Her only competition has just been erased from dust into dust. And now all Raccoon and Goob and Bowser all need behind them is a caution flag to come out, which seems very unlikely the way they're racing each other right now. But then again, you've got Space Cube out here running very subpar lap times compared to everyone else in 40th. He is 5 laps down, significantly off the pace. Sounds like the perfect recipe for a disaster. And next up to catch him is Galaga, the 16, who is running 8th. But now Hubris is now in the top 10 once again after the 96 had a problem. Klonoa now in 9th. Sheepmobile now in the top 5. Under attack from the lap cube of Gun, who is actually going to make a run, but Sheepmobile is going to hold him off. The AI does not like to get up close and personal here like they do at Auto Club. But now Iga's stuck in some heavy traffic. Oh, very, very heavy traffic, I might add. 70-sider who's running up front. Ooh, Sad Knuckles had a very bad corner there. He's going to actually lose the position of Gentle Cat. At this rate, if Igus continues lapping more people in the field... Oh, Whimsicott's falling back to 14th. Holy shit. Uh-oh, another alert. Oh, it's Cube's coming down pit road. Oh, is this green flag pit stops? Yes, it is. Green flag pit stops are now underway, my friends. A lot earlier than I thought they would be. Where is the 19? Who is now on pit road. So yes, she has gone on pit road, and just like everyone else, green flag pit stops have begun with 50 laps to go. As Goob is going to lead a lap for the first time in this race. He stays out for a little bit longer. Looks like she has a good pit stop, so she's going to get out of there relatively quickly ahead of Omori Jr. Just fuel. No, they're not taking fuel. They're only taking tires. Huh. So they might have to pit again, which is really interesting. I've never seen these cars only... Wait a minute. They're only taking tires and no gas. No. Just tires, no gas. This is the opposite of Cars 1. Oh my god. Oh, they're getting very, very close. Whimsicott hit the wall coming off of pit road. Trying to battle with 70-sider. On pit exit. Oh, contact. Both Mr. Kill and Whimsicott hit the wall. No yellow. Oh, they're piling up behind them. Caution is out. Oh, and Mr. Kill goes around. They're piling into the barrels behind them. The One Piece is involved. Road Toad is involved. Sisyphus has got damage. And the caution is out again. Uh-oh, no. That may have just fucked over everything. That may have just destroyed everyone and put a bunch of people a lap down. I might have to actually correct that under this next green flag run. Goob still has not yet pitted. Or he's going to pit, but that's going to force a lot of people to go be a lap down. I might actually have to correct that. Lightning McQueen is now 6th. Unbelievable. Okay. Oh, then yeah, 93 is out. So let's go back and see what happened to cause that caution. So it first started when Road Toad was involved in that incident, so let's watch him. So it was when Mr. Kill and Whimsicott got together. Whimsicott got away, but Mr. Kill didn't. Road Toad got into Mr. Kill. And then air traffic cone hit the barriers, so did Road Toad, and Sisyphus got involved in that as well. And that's about it as to those who were involved, but... So yeah, that only 3 cubes are now on the lead lap after that. Which I'm going to fix. And now Mr. Kill and Road Toad are now coming... Looks like they're going to commit to pit road. But in case something like this happens, don't worry, I have a failsafe. If there are a bunch of cubes ahead of the leaders, once the green flag goes out, I'm going to immediately throw another yellow flag so that all of those guys get back on the lead lap. That is called the wave around. That is a not normally done under the green flag. It's normally done under yellow, but I do not have the special mod for this game that allows me to do that, so I cannot do that under caution. But now the One Piece is out of the race, Traffic Cone is out of the race, Sisyphus is out of the race. And now, Goob is our leader, but how many people are ahead of them? Oh, just about all of the leaders. Yep. It's Goob, then Baguette, then Gentle Cat, who are all ahead of our leaders with less than 50 laps to go. So I'm definitely going to throw the caution here. Oh, Raccoon might actually been screwed the most out of this because he's behind Goob. So once I throw the yellow flag again, then Goob will have to... then Raccoon will still be a lap down, so that might have just screwed over his race. Roadshot's actually going to stay in the race after that, and so is Mr. Kill. But I am going to go ahead and do this. And just wait until the green flag comes back out so that we can get all these guys back onto the lead lap by the wave around. Actually, I think... Ooh. That screwed over Igus a lot, because she's going to be further back in the field after that. Actually, never mind. Is she a lap down? No, she's not a lap down. So she's not only going to get her to be in 4th place after this yellow happens again, but she's going to be in 4th place, followed by Omori Sr. No, not Omori Jr. Followed by the 98 of Spark It Up, then 85 of Bowser, and then the 13 of Go-Go Mobile. So that'll be an interesting lineup for this restart. And then Lightning McQueen, then Sheepmobile, then Galaga. So all these guys on the outside lane are going to... Uh-oh, this is problematic. Oh, no, this is not problematic at all, actually. Oh, wait. This might actually be bad. So I'm just gonna throw the caution here and let these guys get their lap back if they can. Or at least some of these guys are going to get their laps back, but this may have just screwed over a lot of people's chances at getting their lap back. Or their positions in general. But once the green flag comes out, I'm going to immediately throw the caution so that these guys can get their... At least some of them can get their lap back, but... Yeah, if a caution happens under the green flag pit stop section, that usually screws over a lot of people. So I'm just going to have this up. I'm going to wait for the green flag to come out, and then I'm going to throw it once they start to go green. There we go. Yep. And now, Igus, Sheepmobile, Galaga, and Klonoa, and Bowser, all these guys are going to do the wave around. Oh, wow. Goob almost got ran over by Pac-Mobile there, but everyone that's a lap down now, I believe, is going to get their lap back. Or not. Alright, that may have not entirely gone to plan. Yeah, these guys might have just gotten screwed over by pit stops. Or by the caution, which is an unfortunate circumstance of how the race works. So, that's just the officiating, or that's just the caution's bad timing, and not really the game itself. But now there's only 7 cubes on the lead lap, which honestly I thought there would have been a lot less than that after Igus was still leading. But now, we have several different cubes that are contention to win. That is Goob, then Baguette, then Gentle Cat, then Igus, then Spark It Up, then Bowser, and then Go-Go Mobile, all on the lead lap. Everyone else, though, not... Oh my god, they're 2 down? How the hell did they get 2 down? That's crazy. But yeah, that caution absolutely screwed them over for sure. Just an unfortunate series of events to have that caution happen under the green flag. During pit stops even so. But now, I believe Goob will line up on the inside lane. Everyone that is on the lead lap will line up on the outside, and they'll hopefully be able to get past these guys as quick as possible. So they'll be going back green next time by. Yeah, unfortunately, stuff like this might also happen at some of the other short tracks as well, like Martinsville and Bristol, because those tracks are even shorter than this. And trust me, there's going to be a lot more wrecks on Martinsville and Bristol, that's for sure, because we had 13 cautions at Martinsville last season, and we're running the concrete version of Bristol, not the dirt version, so that one is going to be a lot more chaotic. Although Bristol typically has less cautions as the race goes on, so who knows. Consuming more water. That is just the squealing of my water bottle, as it is not really old, it's just got a lot of rubber. We are still not going back to green. Wow. Weird. Probably because the pit lap was one of those laps and nobody went on pit road, so. But there's Golgomobile, there's Bowser. There's Spark It Up, there's Igus. So these are the guys that are going to line back up on the inside. And so Goob, our leader, actually has a decent chance to win this race if he can get ahead of Baguette and ahead of Dumbcat, or Gentle Cat. He can actually potentially win this race. At least if he gets a good restart. As he's been in the top 10 at some points in this race, so he definitely has a chance. And if Goob wins, that'll definitely be popular with some of our Karts or Rust members that have been watching this stream. So Baguette lines up on the inside, so does Gentle Cat. And now everything should be relatively normal, but not really. It ended up a lot better at Nazareth, that's for sure. Actually, no, not Nazareth. It was at a different race where I had to throw the yellow for this, but here come the rest of our leaders on the inside lane. But can Goob in the 00 get their first career win while trying to go for Rookie of the Year? Can Baguette be the first field filler to win this season? Or can Igus get back up in the lead and win this race? Or can anyone like Bowser try and win this race as well? He's running 6th on the outside lane, but he's going to have a lot of trouble getting up front if Goob has a bad restart. Let's find out how the rest of this race goes with less than 40 laps to go. Back to green at Richmond. Goob gets a great restart. So does Baguette. He's going to follow Goob on the outside lane. Goob actually got a magnificent restart. Because now Igus looks like it's going to not have enough room to go to the bottom lane. Hubris actually goes to the top, even though she's in 14th, a lap down right now. Oh, almost 3 wide as Igus made a very bold move past Hubris and McQueen. And now she goes to the bottom lane. But now she's got to get past Haruhi, Shadow, and Crush Cube. As Goob gets away with a very big lead. Baguette still holding on to second ahead of the lap car of Crush Cube in 31st. Shadow only 1 lap down in 12th. But Igus trying to get ahead of Gentle Cat, who gets forced up the outside lane, and now she's in 3rd. No one else has gotten to the bottom lane just yet. They're gonna have to take some time to get there. But now Igus just has to pass Haruhi, Shadow, Crush Cube, and Baguette to get back up front and try and pass Goob for the lead, but she's got less than 40 laps to do that. Let's see if she can actually get up there and retake the lead. But it looks like Whimsicott, actually no, Whimsicott's not on the lead lap anymore, so it doesn't even matter. Haruhi goes to the outside line, lets her pass. Shadow, though, is not going to be as, well, I was about to say not as welcoming, but he is a lot more welcoming than Haruhi was, that's for sure. Crush Cube is the next target for the 19 to pass, as Baguette is now already a second behind Goob. If Goob gets up to a decent distance ahead of the 19, who has definitely been our one of the fastest cubes all race, this might set up for a pretty good finish. Ran a faster lap than both Baguette and Goob that lap. Baguette ran a 22.3, so he's definitely slowing up this field by a lot. Actually, Shadow's catching back up to the 19. Ruhi falling back, losing more spots to both. Actually, no, Grimnir Nation's not even on the lead lap, so she's not even losing spots at all. The next cube she has to lose a spot to is Amori Jr. and then 70-sider. But Baguette doing not too bad for a field filler, holding his line, but still not running that great of lap times. Neither is Igus nor Crush Cube right now. Goob running very good lap times right now, just trying to pull off a win, an upset win, really, here at Richmond. Not really a cube that anyone thought was going to win today. And Igus really having a hard time getting past Crush Cube in the 24 to try and battle with. Oh, and as soon as I say that, she dives to the inside, now trying to get past him. And Crush Cube, who's 2 laps down. And now she gets past him. Actually, she's 3 laps down. And now she's on the hunt to try and get past Baguette and close in to get back to that lead lap. Both Baguette and Goob ran a much faster lap than 19 did, so if Goob can hold on for a bit longer, Goob can win this race, but he just has to hold off a very hard charging 19 cube. Meanwhile, back in the pack of the cubes that still have the lead lap, not much has really changed. Gogomobile's actually up to 5th. And Gentle Cat still holding on to 4th. And then way back in 9th, Rashimobile is actually still a lap down. Bowser's falling back to 6th. The last cube on the lead lap is the 98 of Spark It Up, who is just in this pack right here. And Road Toad with that damage from earlier running 29th. So both Raccoon and Road Toad, who both had a chance to win this race, have fallen off quite a bit, but it looks like Baguette actually gained a little bit off of that lap. Oh, never mind. Goob just ran his fastest lap of the race. It may be Jover for the rest of this field if Goob just ran his fastest lap of the race. He actually ran much slower that time. And Igus just ran her fastest lap of the race as well. So she is gaining. Actually, that was 8 1,000ths of a second off of our fastest lap of the race overall. Wild. Actually, she's now 2nd fastest of this race overall. And she is hustling. But Baguette just ran a fast lap as well. I guess maybe gaining, but Goob is still very fast. But he's still got 20 laps left to hold off 2 potentially hard-charging cubes. Baguette did lose, but Igus gained, I believe. Oh no, Igus lost as well, so Goob really getting away from the rest of this field. Uh-oh, we got an alert. It is the 24 of Crush Cube with an engine problem. Smoking down the back straightaway. He might actually stop. That might be a caution, but he is on the apron, so it may not even matter. Looks like no caution as he stops on the backstretch, and he's probably going to be done for the day. Unfortunate for that 24 who has just been unlucky to start the season. .22.1 for Igus, 22.6 for Baguette. She's catching up to that 60 cube really quickly, but I don't think she's going to have enough time to catch up to our leader, Goob, who ran a 22.5, much slower lap than Igus ran there, so. But now Goob is actually might eclipse Igus's lap lead here in due time. Baguette ran the fastest lap of all 3, but is still not really gaining too much momentum on the 00. And remember, the 00 as a number is technically our champion from last season on points. That was Doge Cube last season, so Goob is technically carrying the past champion's number. So this speed is definitely not foreign for sure for this team. Technically, if you think about it in modern centers, Goob inherited Doge Cube's charter, but now getting past the slow cube of Space in the 31, then the slow cube of Raccoon not too far ahead. But Baguette and Igus still trying to work together now in the draft. Igus actually has a bit of a run, but she's not going to get past him. She's going to dive to the bottom lane, try and get to second. She is technically faster than Baguette is here. If she gets past here, that's all she has to do to get past, actually now Raccoon and Space Cube, but those two are pretty slow, so. Ha! Goober in a 420. But now she has to get past Dragonite next. We're at a 439 that time. I guess that lap, we're at a 304. So she is still catching, but now she's 2.4 seconds behind our leader. I don't think she's going to be able to get any more, as that is under 20 laps to go here at Richmond. You see Hubris and Shadow battling for position here for 12th. Baguette now actually catching back up to the 19, as she lost even more time there as Goober did 22.1. She ran a 22.4, so 3/10 slower. She must have gotten slowed up by Space Cube. .3 for Goob, 22.7 for Igus, so she's losing even more time. So I think it may be over for the terms for the lead, unless we have another yellow flag, which is still possible, considering what happened earlier in this race. But these two still battling for that second place position. It's not as aggressive as you might seem. Actually, they're still pretty aggressive. Now, Baguette takes a look to the inside, but is going to get the door shut on him by the 19 of Igus. Can Raccoon hold them off for as long as possible? Probably not. Goob is easily running away with the lead here. Oh, but Baguette's taking a look to the inside of Igus for third, or for second. He's going to get it, as she gets forced up to the top lane. But she's going to take the outside lane, 3 wide into turn 1 there for a second. And nobody has made that outside lane work today, but she gets past Baguette. But she is now almost 4 seconds back of our leader. Now Baguette's going to try and take it back into turn 3, but it's not going to work. So this is the real battle for the race right here, but unfortunately it looks like it's not going to be for the win. Unless we have a late caution, which could throw us to a green-white checker, but I do not see that happening anytime soon, honestly. And if we do have a caution this late, especially with 5 laps to go, it may just make it go to a yellow flag finish. So that would be the worst case scenario for the guys behind her right now. The guys behind the Goob. Goob easily gets past Dragonite there, runs a 22.2. Igus also runs a 22.2, but I don't think she's going to have enough time to get to a double zero. Just simply not possible, because Dragonite is there too, and they both have to pass him. And we saw Road Toad have a problem, but I think Goob... Oh, we got another alert. It's a 79 of Klonoa with an engine problem, running 8th. Comes down pit road successfully, but tough break for a Cube that was setting up for a top 10 finish in this race. And bad luck is going to take him out of this event. And it looks like he's going to be done for the day. Yep. Just a normal engine failure for the 79. And Klonoa is done. And also Crush Cube out of the race as well with a valve failure. Valve train failure. Igus is now closing the gap between herself and Goob. He ran a 22. Actually, he ran an identical lap that time. Incredible. But she ran a slower lap, so Goob just putting it in cruise control now, setting up for what is going to be a victory here today at Richmond. Another alert on the bar. It's a 74 again. Actually, no, it's 74 of Cold Steel with a tire problem. Uh-oh, that's a bad spot to be stuck. That might cause a caution. We'll have to see if it did. I don't think it did. No, it did not. No caution. But that's a very bad spot to be stuck. I guess passing Dragonite, though, with no issues whatsoever. But a lot of people having problems towards the end of this race. But Goob staying problem-free. I guess gets past Dragonite with no problems whatsoever, but I believe coming to 3 laps to go this time by, Goob just needs to cruise on down to the end of this race. I guess now down to a 4-second gap behind the 00. And like I said earlier, this is a championship winning number that could easily go for a championship now with this pace that they're showing at these short tracks. But all Goob needs to do is make it to the end without any problems. I guess lost some more on that lap. We went 2 laps to go this time by. 74 is on pit road. It's looking to be all nice and good for Goob. Coming to the white flag this time by. As the 74 of Cold Steel gets off of pit road. Goob just cruising now. Trying to get there. Just needs one more clean lap here at Richmond to get their first career win. Gonna take that championship winning number to victory lane for the first time this season. Goob is gonna win at Richmond at the night race. And what would be considered an underdog victory, even though they led the second most amount of laps in this race, got away on that restart and just sailed to victory here today. But unfortunately, a lot of people got trapped a lap down because of that caution. But your top 10 is Goob, then Igus, then Baguette, then Gogomobile ends up 4th, Gentle Cat 5th, Bowser 6th, Spark It Up 7th, Galaga 8th, Sheepmobile 9th, and Lightning McQueen gets the top 10. How about that? Cubecar S2 R3. Session is complete. I'm just going to double check that again, make sure I got it. Alright, so that is the race at Richmond. Goob takes it home, and this Saturday will be our last race of the week. It'll be at Circuit of the Americas, our first road course. That's about all you can see of it right now, but that'll be our race next week. Thank you all for tuning in today, and I'll say that like I usually say it, but good night.